Hi everybody, Eric back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your first classroom and get it configured and learn a little bit more about the settings, the general settings around your first class. First thing I did is I came to classroom.google.com, I logged in, and I made sure I was logged in under my correct account. And in my case, we're doing my institutional account. If you remember, you cannot create a classroom in an institutional account and have that accessible in private accounts and vice versa. So this is my institutional account. We're looking at a list of classes that I've made and previously made. And to create your first class, all you have to do is come up to this plus button and create class. This is where also you will have students join your class too. So I'm going to create a class. And we have several options here. The only one you really need is a name. And this is the same name your students will see when looking to join the class, or they'll see a menu of classes when they go into Google Classroom. So you're going to want to make a name that matches whatever course that you're teaching, or something that's easily understood by students. So I'm going to create a class called Faculty Classroom Section. This is, you don't have to fill this in, it's just a section. I usually put the year so I can, if I'm teaching the same class for many years, I go in and I rename the section for the year. If I do teach classes that have several sections, and I give those a name for sections as well. Subject, I usually leave a room. Room also, I just keep blank. So I'm just going to put 2020 here for section and hit create. And it usually creates it pretty quick. Ba-boom. So quick, right? So we have Faculty Classroom. It's automatically chosen a theme from the name using AI and put this image here in for me. I can select a theme, which means just the look and background images of the classroom. I can upload a photo of my own for the banner. That banner will also be displayed in the menu that classes see when you select classes at the base menu of classroom.google.com. You also note that it generated a code for joining this course. And if you want to display that or copy and paste it, you just click on that little button. You can copy and paste that out to send to students so they can gain access to this course. And that's when they use that same plus button, join class, and enter that code. There's nothing in it so far, right? It's a simple class with no students and one teacher. You can see that in people right here. That's me. Nothing else is here. And it says invite students by the class code, or you can also, I'm going to move myself over here. You can also invite students by putting in email addresses. All right, let's look at the settings, the general settings for the course that you might want to take a look at. Right, so the class details, you can come in and edit the name of your classroom at any time. Those initial settings can be changed when you set up a course. So if you mess up, don't worry, you can come back and change them. Class codes and streams, you'll have to generate these. So let's say you have a class code, you get all your students in, you might want to either disable it or make a new code because something went wrong. Maybe you set the wrong code out. You want to get everybody out and let them come back in, but then they still have the code. So you can manage the code to get into the course here. You cannot display it and copy it out or reset it or disable it, right? The stream. So this is the first menu you see when you come into Classroom. The stream is basically just a a running list of new assignments, new announcements, new student posts, and it becomes like a Twitter feed. It's just a running list of things that are added to the course. And so you want to configure that. Do you want to let students comment on it? Do you want to let students actually post new things on the stream? Or do you want only teachers commenting and posting? I usually use only comment. So students will have to comment on a particular item in the stream. Otherwise, it's hard to know what exactly their issue is pertaining to sometimes. Classwork on the stream. So when you have a new assignment, a new quiz, a new piece of information or module in your class work section, which is right next to the stream on top there, do you want that automatically added to the stream as an announcement? So that can be a little noisy sometimes. That's personal preference. Sometimes I have it on, sometimes I have it off. So if, for example, show attachments and details. So when let's say you added a new video to your classwork and a new module that had a quiz. As soon as you added that new assignment, then if you had this set, a link to that quiz or that video will also be copied and displayed in the stream. Could be redundant. It all depends on your own personal preferences. Some people like to keep their stream nice and clean. You can hide the notifications as well. If you delete stuff, do you want to be able to see it or not? That's if students delete them too. Right. Meet. We have Meet. Meet is the synchronous face-to-face teleconferencing tool that's built in and integrated with Google Classroom. You can generate a Meet link. And basically it's just a URL that has it's a static. So this is always going to be the same link until you go in and disable it or create a new one. It's almost just like this code, right? As soon as you know this code, you can get back into the course. As soon as you know this link, you can get back into your virtual classroom, face-to-face virtual meeting classroom, like a Zoom conferencing situation. Visible to students means that this link is able to be clicked on and entered from the students. So if you can hide it, you don't want to let students know where to get into the classroom or get into that meeting area, you can hide it or not. Grade calculation, I usually go by total points. You can weight it by the category. It all depends on your coursework and how you want it graded. You're going to want to turn on points if you want to collect and score grading through Google, which is kind of powerful and makes things a lot easier on you if you learn how to use the assignments and grading tools properly. So I turn it on. And do you want to let students see their ongoing assessments? So that this means they only see their own assessments, their own scores. And I usually like to turn that on as well, just to cut down on the questions being raised. Grade by category. So you might have categories. You can make categories, and then weight them according to however you're grading your course. Right, those are the general settings. I'm going to click Save. It's going to update that. You notice now that there is a Meet link in the banner of the course, and that'll take you to the Synchronous Meetup. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that just to show that. Looks like the camera's not working because I'm using it to stream with right now. But this is a face-to-face meetup, much like Google, Microsoft Teams or Zoom or what have you. So it's on all the time. So you can come in and use it whenever you want, even outside of class time. And if you have it visible to students, they could come in and use it as well. All right, go back out of there. All right, so that you've got everything set up. Now let's go back and see how that looks on your landing page, right? So now you have this new classroom on your landing page for Google Classroom, but doesn't have any students yet. That's for the next video. Let's say you don't like where it is or you want to change things. There's the three dots. You can archive it, which means you're not going to see it. You have to dig back in to make it visible again. You can copy it. So let's say you set up one classroom and you want to continue those settings for another classroom and then populate it with students. This is very useful if you have more than one section of a course and you just want to make 5 sections. You'll set up your first classroom before you populate with students and copy it out 3 or 4 times and then just edit maybe the section name. If you click edit, then you can edit those basic class parameters. And move. Move just means where do you want it displayed on your screen for your own personal purposes. You want it at the end or do you want it displayed first? By default, the classes are displayed to you in which the order they are created or joined. Okay, that's the basics of setting up your first Google class. Hope that was helpful. See you in the next one.